Okay, so in this quick video, I'm going to show you how I'd like you to make vocabulary posters. We're going to be doing this several times throughout the year, and I want the format to be consistent. It's going to be really easy to set up, but I'd kind of like everyone's poster to be pretty uniform, at least in terms of how they're set up and how they're formatted. But you'll be able to have some creativity in there. So let's get started. I'm on my Google Drive right now, so you can just go to your Google Drive. I'm going to go to New, More, and I'm going to go to Google Drawing right there. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to go to Page Setup, and we're going to go to Custom. Okay, and then the width on this is going to be 11, and the height is going to be 8.5. So that's actually a standard sheet of paper right there, turned sideways or hot dog ways or however you want to say. So 11 by 8.5. I click OK. Next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go to Insert Text Box, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to make this text box, and we're going to fit it within this whole area. So if you didn't quite get it in the area, you can usually just drag it over and it kind of snaps into place. So you just probably want to make sure it snaps into place. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is we're going to have our word on the top. So the word, this is going to be your vocab word. So whatever your vocabulary word is, that's going to be on the top. We are going to center that word. I'd like you to use Arial font. I'd like you to use the biggest font that'll fit right here. So even though 96 is the biggest one, we could type in like 120 and it'll be there, but notice that doesn't fit all on one line. So I'd like you to find pretty much the biggest thing that'll fit up here. Mine, vocab word, that seems to fit pretty good. However, I'd like you to make this, Control Z. I'd like you to make this bold, and when we make it bold, sometimes that'll make it not flip. Okay, so we have our vocabulary word right there, okay, right on top. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hit enter, and I'm going to hit enter kind of twice. I want this to be kind of in the center, and this I'd like you to use, we're going to use 72 for this. Your definition goes here. Okay, this is going to be more than one line. I would also like you to use your own words. Okay, so notice right here, this isn't quite all fitting in here, so that's okay. What I'd like you to do is your definition, it might not be, we just want to find a font or a size that kind of fits in here. It doesn't have to be 48, it doesn't have to be 60. Notice 60 is kind of going off the bottom of the screen, but we'd like to, obviously we want this to be as big as possible. We kind of like this there to be like you have your vocabulary word on top, then there should be a space in here, and then right here is where your definition goes. Okay, for your definition, I'd like you to use the Arial font, and I would also like it to be bold, but obviously it is going to be smaller. You can increase this up to a point where like it might touch the bottom, but really this is perfect. We want some space right in between there, and then we're going to want some space right in there. And again, your definition should be in your own words, so do not copy and paste from the internet. If I've noticed that you've copy and pasted the definition, you obviously won't get any credit for this assignment, even though you did all this work. Okay, so now that we have that, next thing that we're going to do is we're going to insert an image. Okay, so I'm going to go to Insert Image. We can just do Search the Web, and then this would be for like whatever your vocabulary word's about. So this is like, this class is cybersecurity, so I'm just going to find a image that represents cybersecurity. Okay, it doesn't really matter which one I choose, but I kind of want something. This one kind of looks good. So I don't want any words obviously in the image that I find. So try to find an image that doesn't have any words. This one right here doesn't have any words. It has the word security and cyber in it, but it's still pretty good. So I'm going to use this one. Okay, we're going to make this the full size. Now notice I'm not, when I did this, I'm not like trying to I'm not pulling this in and just having that fit. The reason that I don't do that is that really distorts the image. Rather, when you insert an image, double click on that, give it a second. I'm just going to grab it in the corner and drag this up, and this is going to fill more than the screen. That's fine. Okay, so this is going to get cut off, that'll get cut off, that's totally okay. I just kind of want this thumbprint in there, the zeros and ones. Now I'm going to go to Arrange, Order, and I'm going to go Send to Back once I've done that. Okay, so I have an image back here, I have my vocabulary word on top, and then I have the definition right there. So notice this is really difficult to read. There are two things that I want you to do in order to fix this to make this easier to read. Number one, we're going to go to Format Options. I'm going to select, we can add a drop shadow to this. So if your text is black, your drop shadow should be white. Okay? And then if we add the drop shadow, I always drag that transparency down, angle down, kind of increase that blur radius. Maybe we can kind of do something like that. Now notice that's a lot easier to read. You can play around with these, you know, just kind of find something that works. So this is easy to read. Maybe you need to lower your blur radius or increase it. You want this obviously to be easy to read. Now still a little bit tricky to read though, especially your definition right there. So the other thing that you can do is we can switch these colors around. I'm going to select all of this. I'm going to change now my font color right here to white, and I'm going to change the drop shadow to black. Okay, and that for this particular image seems to work actually really well. Having a bit of a bigger drop shadow seems to be kind of important, but that actually makes it pretty easy to read. So the angle and distance size keep pretty low, but something like that, that actually looks pretty good right there. Okay, so we have our vocabulary word right there, the definition right there. Again, your text color should either be white or black. You can change the text color right there. It should either be white or black. You can choose like a light gray if you want to, I guess. But I'd like you to choose something on this top row. So, you know, we can choose like a light gray. But then, in order to make this more readable, notice when I take off the drop shadow, the words kind of blur into the background. That drop shadow is really going to make it a lot easier to read. Okay, so we added the drop shadow in there. Now that we have this, we're going to go to File, Download As. We're going to download this thing as a JPEG image or PNG image. Either one's really fine with me. JPEG's probably fine though. Okay, and then if we open this up now, I'll just like open it up in Paint to kind of show you. This is kind of what you got. But we downloaded this vocabulary. So if I go to my downloads folder. Okay, so we have this untitled drawing right there. Let's rename this, and if I double click on that, that's what you made. This is what I'd like you to upload to. This is what I'd like you to upload to the assignment. So we can do the. So I just renamed this the vocab word here, and then you'd obviously take this and upload it to the assignment. Again, notice a lot of times I have you do more than one vocabulary word, so you're going to have to make like 5 of these posters. Each word should get its own poster. Also notice I'm not really having you rename it or save it or whatever. We're downloading it, so once you've finished in here, you go File, download as, and we need to download these either as a JPEG image or a PNG image. Either one is fine, but then you're going to take that image that you've downloaded and then upload that to the assignment. Okay, hopefully that's helpful. Let me know if you have any questions.